Hey everyone. So first thing I want to say is that I was having issues with the first 6 seconds of the video, which is why you'll briefly see my main points that I want to talk about, and I'm very sorry about that. But in this video, I basically want to give you guys some tips to climb out of whatever elo you're in, or to get better. I put some ranked gameplay in the background so you guys don't get bored, but in these matches specifically, I was having a tough time, but I never stopped trying, which is why we won all these games that either my team or I was doing poorly in. The thing you need to take note of in all of your games is your matchup, meaning who am I versus and if I do good versus them or if I don't. An example of this would be if I got possessed and decided to play the Master Race Urgot into Jin. Chances are Jin will face roll me, without a question actually. And in the end of the day, it would be 100% my fault for picking myself into that. Whereas playing, let's say, Ashe, who can provide great engage or disengage, not to mention her damage output, she is, without a doubt, a better pick. And this goes for all lanes. Even though I have ADC footage, I'm gonna be talking about all lanes because I play all lanes since I'm main filler, but I prefer everything over support since I love to make plays. So consider the following. You and your teammates haven't said a single word all game and you just lost the team fight. What do? I recommend talking to your team and in a nice manner explaining to them what you would have wanted differently for your next team fight. Let's say your support, Janna, shielded the Victor instead of you, and you died because of that. But Victor was completely fine. You could explain that Victor has a Q shield and maybe Janna doesn't know for whatever reason. Maybe she forgot about his kit or maybe that was a panic shield that she gave him. But she does say that next time she'll shield you. So just leave it at that and try not to flame. Unless no, really. Try not to flame because it really ruins the morale of your teammates, which leads to the game getting lost without a team fight even starting. As hard of a cringe you might have done because Cass wanted to try an AD Cass build because she believes in the fisting of the boho. You might have to try and understand that at that point you'll probably need to play a more 4v5 type of game, meaning you can't die, you can't miss that much CS because everyone misses CS every now and then. But considering the fact that now you're kind of forced to do a 4v5 type of gameplay, considering that your Cassiopeia, which is full AAP, wants to go AD, you need to understand that now it's more 4v5 because you're missing damage. But basically in that scenario, you just want to play as safe as possible and try not to fight until it's completely in your favor. Or maybe the 5v5 will be good, maybe it won't, but try and focus on yourself and your gameplay. Mostly because you want to balance it out as much as you can, so that way, let's say no one feeds and then you feed, well, it's gonna be your fault that you guys can't win it just because that one 300 gold or maybe those two 600 golds. So just try your best to make it as even as possible whenever you're in a 4v5 scenario. There's always a chance for a comeback whenever the team score is looking grim, so don't let the fact that it's 0 to 12 scare you, because with the right vision control and your entire team camping a brush that is pinked, I promise you that you can catch someone who is all alone trying to ward, and if it's the right person like the enemy mid laner or their jungler, you could translate that into towers or Baron calls with the appropriate vision. So try your best to spew out only positive things because you, your teammates, and your future you will thank you for not creating a negative environment and lowering your team morale. Even if you guys lose, you may feel slightly or fully encouraged to play another one and win that one for sure. That's usually what happens to me 70% of the time, or 2 out of 3 of my games, with the last one because some AFK troll who keeps trying to surrender since he had a bad game and now he wants everyone else to have a bad game too, but you know, that's great. Sometimes you will be losing because of early game matchups. An example would be Pantheon and his spears of fisting. Back in the day, and even now, his spears were god tier, but with the meta being about tanks, his spears don't do the job as they used to. but he can still dominate early game, and because of this, you can't let his early game dominance be the reason why you rage or whatever. Just play it out until the team fights, or farm to your best potential. Same goes for other lanes that have great pressure, like Braum and Lucian combo. Obviously, they will probably win unless you have a good lane matchup too, like Kate Nami or Caitlyn Zyra. And that's practically how it is for most high elo games. It's all about matchups and who you're playing into who. You could see a Zed mid on the enemy team and think, hey, let me go Lissandra for my ulti that counters Zed. Or maybe Kayle for the same reasons. But you wouldn't say, hey, let me go Varus because I see the pros play him, so he must be great. But they seem to forget that they're not gonna pick Varus into Zed because that's just not a great time for him. There's better picks. And that's the same mentality you must have. So some tips I recommend would be to record your gameplay. It helps to visually see your mistakes and how you could have played better. Also, it helps to watch a game that you played absolutely perfectly so you can recreate the same type of gameplay by following it. If you downloaded Windows 10 when it was free, you might have noticed that you have the feature to record your games now using the Xbox Recorder. Just if you didn't know, you should definitely read up on it so you can record some of your games, maybe watch them, because in all honesty, that's the key factor to getting better. The pros know this, coaches know this, I'm sure you know this too, but if you didn't know, just try it out. Trust me, trust all of them. It has definitely helped me. Read up on patch notes. It takes about 10 minutes to update yourself with each patch note that comes out, but you'll be worlds away from everyone who doesn't read patch notes. And if you're too lazy like myself, watch videos on the patch notes when they come out. It could be the difference between you realizing that Talon can now jump over walls, or you getting one-shotted by Kha'Zix, who upon leaving a brush is invisible for 2 seconds now. I mean, it's very interesting. Also, practice ward placements, because the meta keeps changing in that sense as well. Maybe you didn't see Worlds and how so-and-so team that had a Bard support used his tunnel to go past enemy lines and first blooded the enemy's ADC, leaving the whole crowd shocked that such a thing was possible. But it was only possible because of bad warding. Don't think it's always gonna be the same Raptor camp entrance where I'm gonna ward, or River Brush entrance I'm gonna ward, or the Tri Brush. It's different every game, and it's much complicated the higher elo you go, in the sense that supports begin roaming by themselves, putting wards in the beginning of enemy team bot lanes, or where Raptor camp is, just to see where the jungler is. And that creates a lot of pressure. If you know and have the proper warding, that you can see if they're roaming towards your side or if they're roaming towards someone else's side, you're literally denying plays, and you're just gonna continue dragging out the game that will definitely benefit you and your team in the long run. So what I recommend and what everyone else recommends, always practice your warding as much as you practice your own gameplay. Always be consistent with them and just try to be better off than the enemy team. The last thing I want to talk about is picking meta champs. Yes, I know that being a meta slave is boring, but if you want to have fun, go play normals. Go play Doombots, because Doombots is hilarious, it's fun, it allows you to play your favorite champion and get stomped. Ranked just isn't the place to be having fun. I don't mean if you play ranked you can't have fun. I mean you can't fool around, you can't steal red buff from your ADC or blue buff from your mid laner just for kicks. You can't try AD Cassiopeia in ranked because you saw some famous mid laner doing it and saw him laughing, wrecking noobs with it. Obviously, whoever tried it first was just a really good mid laner with skills. And there's no logical reasoning for you to try it out other than in normals. Simply because you're going to create a bad time for your teammates and yourself. when you could have played Victor mid and just wrecked all the noobs because Metal is superior. Take into consideration that the reasons champion are meta are in meta is because in solo queue they are broken. Specific patches maybe buff them to the point where now they're two-shotting things, or maybe there was a ridiculous change that increased their health or something like that. But I definitely recommend just playing meta champs. You'll climb, you'll get to where you want to be. Or if you have friends, just go into a pre-made lobby with a team, get on Discord, get on Skype, where you can actually communicate, and then that team comp, that troll comp, you can make it work. But yeah, that wraps up this video, guys. Thank you so much for watching. Please just like and comment to give me feedback because I want to know how I'm doing. Thank you guys so much for watching. Okay, bye.